Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today is day 3 of bed building. We got everything laid out from yesterday. Where we left off yesterday was that I finished the slats and the tenons and mortises. Oh no, just the tenons. For the mortises, I needed to get a bit. Now, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to get. I was thinking maybe a spade bit, auger bit, something like that. What I got was a Forstner bit. You see, it's one of these bad boys. And as you can see, I already did a little bit of playing around with it. And I have a test piece for you guys. So if you remember, we used this to demonstrate how I cut the tenons on the table saw. And I played around with it a little bit. And so as you can see here, it's just a bunch of holes drilled in line. And then I used a chisel to clear out the in-between spaces. And man, it's not lined up because I didn't really measure it out. I just kind of eyeballed it. But look at that. The lighting's not ideal, but it's a tight fit, right, on both sides here. It's tight enough to not fall out. Like if I really give it, then it'll go. But it's nice and tight. And it took me probably a minute and a half. So this is like monumentally efficient. I can't wait to lay out all the lines, figure out exactly where everything goes, put it all together, drill the holes, and then fit it. We're gonna test fit it, make sure everything fits. I've gone ahead and bored out the first hole, the first slot. It was alright, it wasn't too bad, pretty quick. Just have to be real careful with the lines here. Laid it out. I have the other side laid out and ready to go too. But I want to get this one cleared out. Oh, a little cable there. Get this one cleared out first. Use the chisel to flatten the inside. And then test the fit just to make sure everything lines up before I go ahead and do that one and then figure out the middle ones. Alright, it's been a little bit, I've been playing around with this. If you take a look in there, we're nice and smooth. Got this side ready to go, and check out this fit. Check this out. I got it sideways. There we go. Oh, look at that. Like that is clean. Hold on, the back. Okay, that's just a little bit of shadow in there. We can sand that off, no problem. The fit is tight. A problem I ran into is right in here. I glued it already, but you can probably see the glue dripping out there. My head is screwed on backwards today, and I took the piece for the other side, which I've been using this piece, or I used this piece while I was adjusting the inside here. So these two pieces are fitted for each other, right? And mixing it up is not a good idea because that piece might be slightly larger than what fits in here. So me, being the dingus that I am, took number 2 and put it in slot number 1 and cracked the frame. Now, I mean, it happens, and a lot of it had to do with the inside of this not being cleaned out well enough, but we got it glued up. I'm going to be way more careful on this side here. If you can see, I left the outside wall here a little bit thicker than on the other side, and that just means I'll have to clean out the corners a little bit better. But I'm moving on to the second piece here, side number 2. And then once that's done, I'll have both of these in place exactly where they need to be, which gives me the inside measurement of where these guys are going to go. So then once I have that, we can figure out that part and get those spaced out properly. And then once all of those are in the board, we know exactly where they're going to be and where they're going to stay. That's when we move on to the frame part and the bottom end, the receiving end, where we can cut the mortises and get it all to fit together real nice, completing the headboard. Here we are. We now have all of our pieces fitted. Real nice, real clean. They're all perfect. It's hard to see, but there's no overlap. You see that? They're all in line. It's all ready to go. Now the next step, putting mortises in that one and then putting the whole thing together. here we have the last piece. Fits nice and snug. Now everything is in. The bottom and top are ready to go. That I'm not too happy with, but I think it's because this corner is a little too high. So all I need to do is trim this bottom piece, or sand it down, something like that, and then it should all fit together. Now let's take a look. There we go, we got the whole picture. That's really cool. If you look here, these 2x4s are recessed into the 4x4. So what I was initially planning on doing is ignore this bottom piece, right? Just having the 2x4 sitting on top of the legs. But that takes away a lot of the space from our frame there. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut a couple indents into the frame or into the legs, and then drop those 2x4s straight through into the frame, which will make it easier to put together, and it'll hold it together a little bit nicer. And then once that's done, that's the last step, because these guys are the cross lats. I don't even know what the hell they're called. They are the cross lats that are going to go straight across like this. Which is what the mattress is going to be sitting on. I'll show you guys what these look like once they're all put together, because then I'll be able to actually put the legs underneath, and we'll know exactly what the bed's going to look like. There has been a development. The drill bit is now stuck. I'm going to have to pull a King Arthur with his sword and try to get this thing out of there. So here we are. So once this is all ready, you won't be able to tell that this is, there's these legs here. It'll just look like it's floating, which is exactly what we were going for. Plus we've got some lights coming in, some LEDs, for some underglow. So it'll be like one of those cool cars. These legs are super sturdy. Let me just get onto one of these. Woo! Real wobbly. Don't recommend it, but that'll be fixed once we add the cross struts. That'll add some support. So here's the last leg. We pre-drilled for these screws so they can sit deep enough. I'll show on that side. They're all the heads of the screws end about here, so that they sink in deep enough and actually hold it all together. And this 2x4 here across is just straight on top, or right on the end there. Nothing fancy. I mean, it's on the bottom of the bed anyway, so there's not much point in making it look fancy. Alrighty, I gotta do this quickly because that camera died. My phone is about to die, but as you can see, we got the third support in there. Oh, I think it looks pretty good. These things are stable as hell. There's a little bit of a gap right in this one. You see that? So it wobbles a little bit. But it's not a big problem, because I bet you I can rearrange these, and then one of these is going to be slightly shorter, and then we can just kind of taper it down so that instead of there being the middle one here, it'll just be kind of like that. No problem. Or I can just use the plane, and we'll take off a little bit of one of these, and that'll straighten it out, no problem. The headboard looks real nice. Maybe I should glue that before I leave. I'm going to glue that before I leave so that can set overnight, and then tomorrow we can get in here and finish this thing up. So all that's left now is 2x4 supports in here, and then the 1x3 inch thingies across, and that's that. And then it's like sand it, oil it, done. I don't know how many times I've said sand it, oil it, done, but it's getting kind of tiresome. So here we are, tired, long day. Gonna call it a day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.